Hello people, I hope you're all having a lovely day. In today's video, I'm excited to give you my perspective on the outlook for joining KDP in 2021 and whether I think it's saturated or not. And this, of course, applies to low content publishing as well as high content publishing. So people, first things first, if you're new here, then I want to welcome you to my channel. My name is Ben, and I've been publishing now for around a year and a half. So the videos I put up on YouTube are all the hints, tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way. So if this is going to be something that's interesting to you, do be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I bring out videos like this one. And of course, if you want to get a little bit more insight as to what publishing entails, or you're looking for help, then be sure to join my Facebook community. The link is in the description below. There's a community of 1,500 as well, so it's a perfect place to get a little bit more insight and some help. But guys, without further ado, let's jump into the topic of this video. For this one, I'm going to be jumping into my computer screen, so I will see you on the other side. So people, as you saw in the video's title, we're going to be answering if KDP is saturated in the year 2021. So to answer that question, I'm going to be using an analogy, one of my favorite analogies that I know of, and it's going to be the jar analogy. So there was a really good video on it on YouTube. Basically, they used it there for a different purpose. They used it to describe time organization, and they put different things into a jar, and that's where I drew the inspiration for this video from. So I'm going to link their video in the description below. But essentially, as Robert Kiyosaki said, the best way to predict the future is to study the past. So what we're going to do is to predict whether KDP is saturated. We're going to go back to KDP's roots in 2017 when they were established. So this jar represents KDP. It's completely empty at the moment because KDP has just been created by Amazon. There was a prior company called CreateSpace, and Amazon bought CreateSpace out, and for a more streamlined process, Amazon decided to invent KDP to replace CreateSpace so people could directly upload to Amazon. So this is KDP's jar at the moment. It's empty, and with any product, with any service, with any software, anything like that, social media, there's going to be people called early adopters, and these early adopters are the first ones to this product, to this software, to this opportunity, etc. So the early adopters got into KDP. So they're represented, their products here, their books are represented by these rocks. So they're filling up this jar with all of these books that are fairly easy to make. Let's have a look at some of them here. So this one's actually a CreateSpace one because it was made in 2016, but this person is an early adopter. You can see here a black notebook with the word notebook on the front, and I've done the maths, and they're doing $3,000 a month royalty from this book, and it's been up now for 4 years at the time of this video. So they're absolutely killing it. Remember, a notebook as well is just lined pages inside, so it probably didn't even take them 10 minutes to make that one there. The same with this one here, another notebook with a very simple cover, lines in the middle, lines in the book again, 3,000 a month, and they made theirs in 2018. Again, 2018, an early adopter, 3,000 a month from this book, absolutely easy. And this one again, 3,000 a month. And obviously these books are doing 3,000 a month alone. These pen names will have more than one book though, so these pen names are probably doing a lot of money. The early adopters of KDP had the opportunity, I reckon, to make 6 figures a month from royalty if they were publishing in 2017, 2018. Because as you saw, the jar was empty. Amazon needed it filling, so everyone was publishing books. So if you publish a notebook in 2017, the chances are it would probably sell. Unless like you really managed to flop it, like it started getting bad reviews or whatever. Like honestly, you would make really good money. So let's ask ourselves, is KDP saturated? Is this jar full? These two are exactly the same question in this context. And what is the answer to this, in my opinion? It's absolutely not. That jar is not full, and that should be your answer too. Remember, when things get harder, some people see this as a threat and leave, whilst others see this as an opportunity. Now, if we look at the jar physically, of course, they can't fit another rock this size in that jar. It's just not physically possible. But if we look around the gaps, you can see that there's actually quite a lot of space. So if we scroll down a little bit, and we've got a magnified version of a pebble here, which are going to be publishers starting in a newer era, which is 2019 to 2020. And what they've been doing very, very cleverly is realizing that KDP is not saturated yet. These are the people who don't think KDP is saturated. The ones that think it was saturated when those big stones already filled KDP up, with all those notebooks that are doing really well now, have left. The newer publishers, starting in 2019 and 2020, have started putting these pebbles here, and they're starting to fill in the gaps. So this could be niches that are a little bit more in depth than the ones you saw before. Before it was just notebook, activity book, or unicorn activity book, and just very common niches like that. But what people have done in 2019 and 2020 is way more savvy. Sorry, the screen is being a little bit slow as well. I think it's struggling to cope with all these graphics on screen. So as you can see here, handwriting practice book. This is on August 15th, 2019. Again, they're going to be doing 3K a month from this book. So the opportunity is still fully there. People are just diving deeper and harder to find very good niches. And we can keep scrolling down as well. A space coloring and activity book found in March 19th, 2019. The rewards have come for finding this niche. They're going to be doing an absolute 3K a month. Again, word searches, there's going to be a lot of different themes to word searches that you can do that are still going to be very good to this day. So 3K a month, the rewards has come to this person for persevering into 2020 with KDP. And the list keeps on going. Look at this, a creative gratitude journal 2020. Again, they've been doing 3K a month. And finally, a logbook here, published at the end of 2019. They're firmly doing 3,000 a month from that logbook. So people are still winning now with KDP. But the general theme to as time goes on with KDP is that obviously you're going to have to put in more work to find these good niches. And of course, there's going to be more competition. We're not early adopters anymore. There was people that started, like I say, in 2017, 2018. They were the early adopters. We're not the early adopters. So we just have to accept that fact that more people are going to be coming in. It's still a fairly new opportunity when you compare it to things like FBA and Shopify dropshipping, but more competition is coming to the marketplace. And as a result of this, it will take longer to get to 1,000 a month or 10,000 a month, etc. when doing KDP. But on the flip side, I believe that more people in today's age will have an opportunity to reach 1,000 and 10,000 than ever before, because obviously more people are finding this marketplace. I've seen so much more results this year where people have done 4 figures this month in December 2020 than December 2019. So it is a definite upwards trend. There's no doubt about that. So is KDP saturated in the context of 2021? Let's look at this jar again with the pebbles in. Is this now full, this jar? It's the same question as last time, guys. Can we finally say that this jar is full? And can you guys guess the answer? Still no, guys. Absolutely not. This jar is still not full. Look, if we have a look at this here, this is a magnified version of a grain of sand that we're going to stick into this jar. And this is KDP going into 2021, 2022, whatever year in the future. We're going to be sticking the sand into this jar here. And as you can see, there's millions of sand particles to be had in this jar. You can literally pour in tons of sand, shake the jar down. You could probably pour in the sand again. You can imagine that happening, right, guys? Like the sand is just filling all the empty space that KDP has. So the jar is never really full. If we scroll down, so guys, what can we say about KDP here? After we filled in all the sand, you can imagine it, the jar is completely full with sand now. I can't get any more sand in that jar. Is this jar full? Is it saturated when the sand is in? Well, the answer is still no. Have a look at this. We can get this glass of water, and I will bet any amount that that water will be able to fit into the jar. So this is all mentality, guys. The jar is never full. And that really is the motto when it comes to publishing on KDP. The jar is never full. And that's not the end of the story as well, guys. If we have a look at this, remember, the jar is always growing. Now, let's have a look at why that is. So if we scroll down again, you can see, first of all, market opportunities, 2021 market opportunities. We saw in 2020 that coronavirus came and hit us. Everyone was in lockdown, and all of a sudden that created a demand for books that wouldn't have been in demand before the coronavirus. It's the same with sustainable living, social awareness, and post-Brexit stuff. So Brexit is supposed to be finalized at the start of 2021, so that could create a demand for books that wouldn't have been there before. So let's have a look at a few examples. There's a Black Lives Matter coloring book. So this came, an activity book. So this came by in October 2020. And whilst there might have been some demand for it before the George Floyd killing, obviously it's been brought into a lot more international attention in recent months. So this is something that's had an inflated demand for over the past few months. And it's the same with Go Away Rona, this coloring book, this coronavirus coloring book. Imagine if you made that in 2019, no one would know what coronavirus is, so there'd be no demand for it. So the marketplace is putting demand as events occur. So that's one way the jar is always growing. Now let's have a look at Amazon. Amazon is a business, so it's in their interest to grow KDP. Amazon are a customer-centric company, and one of their goals is to give customers as much options as possible. So they're always going to be looking for ways to grow their business, and in 2020 this was through new marketplaces and ads. And they also do this thing where they boost your books. So if you recently publish a book, it's going to put it at the top of the search page for a little bit, just to see how well it does against certain keywords. So people coming into KDP right now still have a very big opportunity. So as you can see here, over 10,000 Canadian dollars, which is around 7,800 US dollars, in new sales in Amazon Canada since their launch in August 2020. And these sales wouldn't have been possible before this date, as Amazon hadn't launched this yet. So Amazon are always creating new opportunities for their publishers. And of course, that's not it. There is one other way you can grow the jar, and that's from you yourself. So you as the publisher can grow this jar by creating better quality books and doing more extensive niche research. So a few of the things you can be doing proactively is read reviews in your niche to see if anything can be done better than the current books that are on the market. So go through the 1 stars, go through the 3 stars reviews and everything like that. If they say, oh, I don't like this book because of this, because of that, then maybe that's something you can incorporate in your book before you publish it. I would advise as well using a software such as Helium 10 to find unmet needs within publishing. So what you can do with Helium 10, I have another video about this, but essentially you go through Helium 10, it scrapes all the keywords off existing products, and it shows you how much demand there is for a keyword and how much supply. So you're assessing the supply and demand for each keyword. If there is a keyword that has a lot of demand but not a lot of supply, that's a really, really good way to find unmet needs within publishing. And of course, you want to focus on quality over quantity. This is a given when publishing onto Amazon. You don't want to be publishing loads of books that's perceived as spammy, and it could get you into trouble. So don't go for quantity. So coming to the end of this video, guys, I'll leave you with this. Is KDP saturated? Remember, is KDP saturated is the same as the question on the bottom. Is this jar full? And if you're looking at that jar, can you honestly say that that is full? No. So on that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry the video has been a little bit blocky. It took a while to load those graphics that I made. But yeah, thank you so much for watching again. Give this video a like if you liked it. Comment if you have any questions, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, if you know anyone that could use this video, they think KDP is saturated and they're looking something else, then be sure to show them this video, share it around. But yeah, guys, thank you again. Take care, and I will see you all in the next video.